It was at some point today, I think during the morning to late morning hours, that I noticed that I had gotten a mild cold. I first noticed it 1 to 2 days ago, when the only symptom was a bit of a sore throat. I still have that. My ears hurt a little bit at times. I've got a bit of a cough, a bit of a fever, and my nose is running a little bit. But I can still breathe through it just fine. I told Mom about it after I had some tacos, white rice, and black beans. That she prepared around 6:45 p.m. Since I knew she would have something to help me feel better sooner so I can get back to working on my polystyrene drawing projects. Speaking of which, I recall during the late afternoon / early evening hours, I did some work on my exclusive space in a corner of our living room. I brought down that piece of wood that I had had on my bed for months. I moved it down to one of the glass end tables that I combined. Specifically, I put that piece of glass on the end table closer to our living room. I mean, closer to a wall of our living room. The main wall. In my room, that piece of wood would serve as a space where I could rest an ongoing polystyrene drawing project. And maybe it's associated markers. But on those glass end tables, it'll serve as somewhere I can rest both my laptop and use this computer mouse. Since on glass, I can barely move my cursor. I made some efforts to pick out the remaining colors of Sharpie markers that I would need for the second beaker drawing. Which is part of a commission. Though I can't really work on any polystyrene drawing projects while my nose is running. I want to ensure that my hands are clean while working on any polystyrene drawing project. Roughly from 5 to 5:30 p.m. After Mom mentioned getting the mail, I offered to do that for her since our mailbox is just across the street. And while I was walking back with the mail, I noticed that the downspout of our gutter had been blown off. Despite the packaging / masking tape that was put on it the other day. It was this tape, and it was this tape that Mom used initially to tape the downspout of our gutter today. The downspout of our gutter, and then she got this tape from our local Walgreens and used that as well. In the process, I pretty much held the downspout of our gutter in place for 15 to 30 minutes. With this arm pressed against the downspout, though I also kind of use the weight of my body to hold it in place, since at the time there was a bit of a windstorm going on. Prior to me doing this, I was feeling a little tired, and the mildly to moderately cold wind ended up waking me up. Though it was at that point that I decided that I noticed that my nose was running, and thus it probably wouldn't be a good idea for me to work on any polystyrene drawing projects. Though I do have the colors picked for two polystyrene drawing projects, that of the second beaker drawing, which I plan on making look more like Beaker himself, and that of the Leprechaun Cup, which I have unfinished at Dad's place. The one good thing I've noticed about getting sick is that it makes you extra warm under any blanket, and that's due to the fever. It's the one thing I've noticed throughout the last few colds I've gotten over the past year or two. The colds I get are at least months in between. It's just a temporary setback every now and then. Around 11:45 in the morning, I had that caprese salad that Mom and I got from Wegmans some days ago. The vast majority of it consisted of olives and olive oil, which gave it a distinct taste. That's a bit acquired, but it was still fine for me, especially with a glass of milk. Whole milk like I'm having right now. I've always considered milk to be a good keto diet beverage, though I'm not 100% sure of that now, since it turns out there's sugar in milk, and that's the lactose in it. But I learned from a movie I watched that just about every food has carbohydrates in it. It's just a matter of ensuring that you get good carbohydrates. At least that's what I've noticed, what I've observed. That caprese salad had the vast majority of it be olives, with the majority of those olives being green, with some brown and black olives. And when I say black olives, I mean whole black olives, not the sliced kind you see on pizza. I managed to eat all of the olives and save some of the little slices of salami and cubes of, I think, mozzarella cheese or Swiss, I'm not entirely sure, for last, amid all of the olive oil that little salad had. Somewhere between 7 and 8 p.m., Mom made me a cup of tea with some antibacterial honey. I believe it's called Manuka honey. And also, if I recall, mixed some zinc and iron, I think powder supplement is what it was, into a glass of water that was put in a plastic glass. I had the water first, and then the cup of tea. And around the same time, I kind of noticed that most, if not all, of the badges for the game Raid Heroes Sword and Magic, they are relatively very easy to get regardless of the difficulty given to any of the badges. Around that same time I had that water and that tea. I was concerned about the water in particular since Mom put some iron supplement in it, and I already took an iron supplement that day. Perhaps maybe I'll skip the iron supplement tomorrow, just be on the safe side. I took the iron supplement around the time I had the tacos, and then a couple hours before that, I had the 2 vitamin D gummies as another supplement. It was pretty cloudy. It was overcast throughout the day. Though after I helped Mom with taping the downspout of the gutter back on, it snowed over the next hour or so. I've also noticed that I occasionally sneeze. Yeah, I think this might be the last time I see snow here. For quite a while.